Morning. Apologize for being just a couple of minutes late. Was working on the radar, which so fun seemingly is having a stay low issue. So, got our engineering folks working on that and just kind of put me a few minutes later than I wanted to be. But here we are, and we have other radars if ours is down. So there's that. But at any rate, good morning. It's Sunday morning, February the 16th. I'm Wesh 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, and today, chat about storms moving in, impact weather from about 1 to 5 o'clock, particularly for our northern spots, particularly because there's a storm system that's moving in and has the chance to put down some feistier storms to our northern spots. Take a look at the overall weather setup right now. There's a cold front. Cold front kind of throwing in some clouds over top of us already, but there's the nasty weather. There was actually just a severe thunderstorm watch issued for parts of Georgia because up there it's particularly nasty. For us, when we look at the severe risk, notice that that severe risk is shaded in yellow all the way up through South Carolina. So for them, a level 2 out of 5 risk for scattered strong to severe storms. In our area, it's quite a different story. It is a level 1 risk for scattered strong to severe storms in our northernmost areas. Where we could get a good gust of wind, could get an isolated tornado. I think the majority of the severity, though, should stay well north of us. So there's that we'll have to watch. All right, we'll look at Futurecast data. We'll look at some synoptic stuff. We'll get into the meat and potatoes of the forecasting in just a little bit. But first, let's just look outside, right? Ocala, you're going to be the area that we watch for the stronger storm potential today. And right now, it's gorgeous outside there. A look in on our radar, and again, unless I got it, let me just. Yeah, it's not radiating. So, all right, a look in on. We'll tap into the Jacksonville radar. And we're starting to see some of those storms up north of us, right? I believe I've got the Tallahassee radar. Let me dial into this. Stand by. Yeah, so swap over, and there's Tallahassee. And so you can very clearly see those storms marching their way toward Tallahassee and Valdosta, right? So that's the line of storms that we're tracking right now. If we switch over to velocity, let me switch it over to the Tallahassee velocity. And you see all those yellow boxes, by the way, all those yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings. There's the velocity out of Tallahassee. So brighter colors, gustier winds, thankfully not looking at anything tornadic, right? But nevertheless, that line of storms is moving our direction. So we'll get into some rain a little bit later on today. All right. Currently, temperatures comfortable, upper 60s, lower 70s, right? Here's the forecast ahead, right? Adding the clouds, then adding showers and storms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that impact weather time frame there. High temperatures around 83. This does include race time. So if you're heading out to the 500, unfortunately, that is going to play in. And then in addition to, we're also talking about gusty winds, 20, 30 miles an hour. Gusts could run to 45. We actually have wind advisories in effect across the metro to the north because of those gusty conditions today. Okay. So, yeah, could get a little feisty. Let's take a look at our Futurecast, and we're going to look at several different versions of Futurecast. All right. First things first. Looking, there it is. All right. So, first things first, here's a look at our Futurecast model showing the clouds around this morning. There's that line of storms working into our northern spots. Again, around 2 o'clock or so, I'll bring it full screen so that you've got the clearest view possible. You don't need to see my noggin, right? 2 o'clock getting into Marion County, pushing into the villages by about 2:30, 3 o'clock into Flagler County, 2:30, 3 o'clock, getting over to the Daytona International Speedway, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Now, I'm not a race fan. Nothing against it. I am wearing my Daytona Columbia shirt. It says it on the back. But anyway, um, for you race fans out there, how long do we need this race to go before it's official or whatever the term is? Because if that's 3:30, 4 o'clock, the storm's moving in, is that enough time to be able to have it valid, or I forget the terminology, but you tell me, for those of you that like racing and are familiar with the rules, is it like a third of the race or something like that that they need? Help me understand that. Kara says glad they moved up the race an hour to possibly help. Agreed. Definitely a good call here. But yeah, there's 3:30 and we're going to be watching those storms kind of working in, right? Halfway, Fran says. Okay. So you think by 3:30, 4 o'clock? Debbie says one lap past halfway. 3:30, 4 o'clock. If we started at 1:30, what do you think? Would that be it? Getting into the metro 4:30, getting over to Brevard by 5:30, and then kind of tapering off. It's losing its energy. Its energy stays up to the north. All right. So that's our Futurecast model. Let's look at the hourly rapid update Futurecast. 1, 2 o'clock, kind of getting again. I think the same. Yeah, half of the scheduled laps must be complete. Debbie says, depending on cautions, it could be enough time. All right. So, note to drivers: don't drive like knuckleheads because you need to get this thing in, right? Depends on caution time whether that's good enough. All right. See, this is why I love you guys because I have no idea. All right. There's 3 o'clock. Rapid Update Futurecast is pushing that rain in. Again, it looks like 3:34. And Rapid Update Futurecast almost looks like it's wanting to, get the feistier stuff into the metro, whereas our regular Futurecast is kind of keeping the feistier stuff north. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some storms getting into the metro area, especially with temperatures like in the 80s, 82, 83 degrees. There's 5 o'clock. Keeping it feisty right into Brevard County, 6 o'clock. It's weakening. Then both of them are showing that weakening trend getting into Brevard County. It's just a question of, does it move into the metro, right? So kind of interesting. So that's kind of where Futurecast is at right now. Taylor says they're going to drive like idiots and rush trying to get the race in before the rain. Lots of accidents, I bet. But isn't that what some of the fans like? Isn't that the thing, right? So yeah, 3 o'clock we've got rain and storms, right? Because as that stuff approaches, maybe we can get to 3:34 before it like deluges. But by 3 o'clock, start planning for it if you're out at Daytona. Patty says it's Daytona. They always drive crazy. Yeah, yeah. Oliver says it's the 500 and Bubba's out toward the front. There's going to be a wreck early. Just kidding. Bubba's a good driver, but needs better consistency. Yeah. So anyway, that's the forecast if you're heading out to the 500. I know so many in Central Florida do. I may be the only like Central Floridian that's never been. It's just it's cool. Every time I've been to the Speedway, it's been super fun. I've just not I've just not made it out for a race. Debbie says the fans don't like accidents. We like a good race. Wrecks are the excitement. Unfortunately, Terry says, I think everybody just watches right for different reasons. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Okay. They have to do a minimum of 250 laps. A typical lap time is about 45 to 50 seconds. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Troy says, I've never been either, and I live in Ormond. Well, you live closer, so I suppose if one of us is to be made teased a little bit, it's probably going to be you over I. People need to be careful in the rain while driving on the road. We don't need car accidents to happen. Well, I feel like people just don't. People just don't drive. Sometimes I wonder why people drive so crazily. But yeah, Yukon says, I've never been. I'm not going to a crowd of 200,000 people. Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's definitely a lot of people. Deborah says, if you go to once to a race, you'll be hooked. I feel like a lot of people have said that to me. So that doesn't surprise me to hear that. you know? All right. So anyway, we've got rain today. That much we can establish. Beyond that, look at the 7-day forecast here because I've said it for weeks now. It's an active weather pattern heading into the end of February and early March. Thankfully, we're not looking at like major severity stuff, but like today, we've got some storms in there. Okay? Beyond that, look at the difference. 85 today. Look at Monday. Look at President's Day. Are y'all ready for this? Cue jock jams, right? Look at these temperatures. First off, morning lows. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to 53 in Orlando, 50 in DeLand, 46 degrees in Ocala. Ooh, okay. What about daytime highs? In the 60s? Tomorrow's going to be a different day, right? A very, very different day. Man, 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 man. More active weather pattern. We had talked about this, people. Then we get a little milder on Tuesday. Wednesday, there's another opportunity for storms. Let's look at Futurecast for Wednesday. I wonder if it goes out that far. Give me a minute. That's not the long range. That's the long range. It does not go out that far. All right. Hold on. So we can go to the long range version. All right, so there's Monday, Tuesday. All right, so there's a storm system. First off, notice that storm system has like some winter precipitation across northern Louisiana into Mississippi. But there's Wednesday, streaks of energy kind of working in. Looks like Wednesday afternoon, and it weakens as it gets here. But yeah, we're going to have that storm system kind of approaching us on Wednesday, weakening on its arrival. But there's that opportunity for storms for Central Florida, okay? That's Wednesday. Looks like it's going to be Wednesday afternoon, perhaps even Wednesday evening. Then temperatures drop again. Look at the difference. Thursday, kind of a transition day. Highs in the upper 60s is going to be another nice and cool one, so love that. But look at Friday. Um, 45 in the metro, 46 in Leesburg, 43 in the villages. I think I think just with experience, I'm going to guess that we end up in the upper 30s in Ocala if this plays out the way that it looks like it's going to. 48 in Sanford. Okay. That's Friday morning. And then Friday afternoon. I don't want to say it's chilly, but like that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, yep. Love that. I do remember that, Yukon. I actually have it on beta somewhere. I actually do. I have it in beta somewhere. When I was there, Yukon, I grabbed all of those old commercials from when I was a kid. All right. So there's our 7 day forecast. Hold on a second. Camtran is messaging me. She's asking me about the radar. Status display. Yeah, it's all red. Real time display. Edge control. Hold on a second. Surveillance. Oh, from scheduler to surveillance mode. Yes. Put CCOR down to 0. File open. Hold on a second, y'all. Zero. Yeah, it's not radiating. The stalo is out. Stalo. The stalo is out. It shows radiating, but it's not. All right. 35 for CCOR. That should, yeah. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Sorry about that. Just messaging I'll show you what I'm working on. I'm just tweaking the raw settings on our radar. It's we're getting an error message, and so it's just a matter of trying to get that fixed. So anyway, trying to get that fixed before the storms arrive. Anyway, yeah, Jeannie Rowan says sausage being made. Exactly. That's exactly it. So that's the raw display that you don't see that we see on our radar system. So and I'll show you real fast. The issue that I'm having is up here. You see where it says pulse detect and it's red. So the radar's on, the servo's on, says radiating, but it's not actually radiating. So that pulse detect, that's the stay low. Hold on one second, it's Cam again. Let's get engineering to do it. Once they restart, it would knock out our remote access. EC needs to diagnose the issue with the stay low. All right. So anyway, the butt shootout was the best back in the late 90s, much shorter. I remember that. Taylor says WD-40, right. Yeah, well, it says that there's pedestal issues. So I'm curious. I don't know what the issue is. Honest to goodness, I don't know what the issue is. So anyway, tell her to climb the tower and slowly spin while yelling "boop" every few. Oliver, well, Oliver, that's how I teach kids radar when I do school talks. Honestly, Wesh can't go on the air without my help. Well, certainly they can, but I noticed something was fakakta on the radar when I popped in this morning, and so when I started to look and diagnose the issue, it's like something's going on here. Something's going on here. So anyway, if it needs to move and it isn't, WD-40. If it's moving and it shouldn't, duct. Exactly right. Yeah, that's about right. Janice. Yeah. Taylor. Too funny. All right. Questions, comments, concerns about the forecast? Just so that you know, yeah, we're gonna get the radar taken care of. Whatever needs to be done can be done, and then we have other radar sources that we can use as backups as needed. That's the important thing of having your own radar. Is like, oh no, we don't have a radar for a couple hours. Guess what? We're just like some of the other stations. We don't ever, like they don't have one. All right. You're asking about rotation, so let's take a look. Mm-mm. Give me a second. Got to find it. There's so many different model products here. Of course. You're asking me to look at rotation. I got to find the thing. This is where Manolfi having 1,000 model products is like, okay, well here's Supercell Composite. It's loading. Yeah, I mean it's not a significant threat. It's thankfully it's not. It's a pretty low end threat. Now up to the north, that's a different story. But by us, yeah, it's not. Yeah, your fancy West Rider was the only one who showed me that rogue storm over our house the other day at 3 a.m. See, Kate or Katie is great, and it doesn't go down often. But of course, I'm like, on a day that it's going to storm, you're going to go down on us. Come on. So they'll get it fixed. I I sent an email to the entire engineering department and my boss. Correct. That's the stay low. So EEC needs to diagnose. Restart won't fix. It will only block us from remote access. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see. All right. How long of a rain delay do I need to be ready for? Let's hope that that's not the case. Let's hope that that's not the case. Tell Tony to invest the 3 million in the radar. Listen, the radar's top of the line. Stuff happens. I do feel like the stay low on our radar is definitely the weak point for whatever reason. For whatever reason. Lone side. Thank you, Oliver. I got the reference. I got the reference. Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? We looking good? Oh, that sounds fun, Steph. Make sure to see the Impossible Science show. Make sure it's an extra $5 at the Science Center, but it's worth it. Make sure to do it. All right. All right. Listen, be good, y'all. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Be ready for those storms today again. Just remember, today we're calling it impact weather this afternoon, 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You'll be good to go before that. But during that time frame, we'll have the storms. All right? Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Bye, y'all.